Alright, here's part 2 of drawing the floor plan. In this video, the main concept we'll learn is about how to define blocks. Right? So, the very beginning labs we talked about the draw commands, we've talked about the modify commands. The last video we talked a lot about layers, and now we're about to talk about blocks here. Okay? Here's what a block does. So this is the final drawing that we'll get to. You don't have this yet, but basically what a block would do is, let's say, hey, I want to draw one window here, but now I want to have 2 and 3 and 4 windows. You don't want to just draw those 2, 3, 4 times. So what you do is you create a block, and I've already created a block, and then you see these are all different blocks that I have. So if I want to put in another window, I can click on window, and there's another block. Let's say I want to pull in a door. I can click on a door, and there's a door. Now in AutoCAD there are some blocks that are already defined for you, such as, well, this is a bed right here. Okay, and well, that bed is already defined in AutoCAD, but notice you could draw that bed, right? So I'm going to show you in this part, how do we define blocks ourselves? Not ones that AutoCAD has built into it, but how do we define ones on our own? Okay, so this is where you should have left off with. Make sure you save your work, okay, at this point. Alright, at the end of this video, we should have basically something that looks like this, where you have all your exterior and interior windows in, including all your doors. Okay, so that's our goal at the end of this video here. Okay, well, let's first draw one of the exterior windows, and then we'll turn it into a block. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create a block. Well, the first thing we must do is, since I want to draw a window, I cannot be in the wall layer. So this is very important. We must change the layer down here to windows. Okay, so now anything I draw will be in that window layer. All right, so let's go draw a window. Several ways you could do it. I'm going to use the rectangle command. Let's just start at one point, and now I'll define the dimensions. So type in D, and let's make it 0.3. That's 30 centimeters wide by, let's make it 2.5 meters wide. Okay, and now click one other time, and there is the outside outline of a window. Right now this is completely joined. I want to create a window that kind of looks like this one here. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and try to do it on your own. In the lab document you have the dimensions for this window. So pause the video now, try to draw the rest of that window on your own. Okay, so I'll show you how to do it if you haven't figured it out. I'm going to first explode this. Okay, now press enter. Now I've exploded it. The reason I did that is now when I offset, and let's offset a distance of 5 centimeters, press enter. And now I want to just offset only this line and then that one. The reason I exploded is because if I offset, this line would have offset as well. Okay, and now all I need to do is create a line that's right in the middle. So I'll just create line, and let's have that midpoint. That triangle says the midpoint, and let's snap it to that midpoint over there. Okay, so there is an exterior window. Let's save our work before we go any further, and now let's turn this into a block, and we do that by clicking here on create block. That little button, let's create the block. The first thing, let's give it a name. Let's type in exterior window. Now I want to specify, I want to say what I want to turn into a block. So click on Select Object and select all of that and press Enter. And now let's define a pick point. Okay, this will be the point that you specify when you place the block in. You typically want it like at a corner of the window or something. So let's specify that lower left corner as the pick point. And now click OK. And so now if you click here on your drop down list, look at this. Now you've created this block. And now I can click here and I can just select this as a block and just put it in where I want. Okay. So there we've created a block. Now I want to go through and let's just place this block at some locations. Okay, if I look here in the drawing, let's place this window first. You see this exterior window is 70 centimeters from this lower left corner here. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, well, this block is actually vertical and I want to rotate it to be horizontal. Alright, well, I can rotate by clicking on the rotate command, clicking on the block, hit enter, and now it says specify a base point. There's a base point, and then rotate. Click again. Okay. Now press escape, and now I want to move this, so I can just type in MO for move, press enter. Let's select the object that I want to move, press enter. And now let's go get a base point here. I'm going to select this very corner point. Alright. Now I want this corner, I want this window to be 70 centimeters from this endpoint here. So just put your cursor over that, move it in the horizontal direction and type in 0.7. And there it is. You've placed that window as 70 centimeters from that corner there. Okay, I can go put in, I'd say, an exterior window here, doing the same method. So let's move this, press enter. I'll specify here, let's move it up, let's make, I don't know, this one 0.5. There you go. Okay. I don't exactly care about that you have the right dimension of where this window is, but I do want you to go place different windows as you see in this drawing. So there's one window, we have this one already. Notice there's two other windows over here, so let's go place those ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to move this object, press enter, and now let's select a point there, and let's go put this window somewhere over here. Okay. There. Alright, now I want to put another window in here, and you say, well, where's a window? Okay, well, I have, now that I've created it as a block, I can just insert, click on exterior window, and now I can select some point I want. Now watch this. If I want to, let's say, place it here, if I click, look where it's going to place it. It's going to put it down here on that corner. Why is that? Well, that's because I had my object snap endpoint on and it was snapping to that endpoint. Alright, so let's undo that. Let's show you that again. I went to go put this in, right? If I click now, it will put it at the midpoint. If I click, sorry, I pressed escape. If I click now, it'll place it at the endpoint. Well, I want it somewhere about here. Let's put my cursor over the endpoint, move the mouse up, and let's define some distance. I don't know, let's make it 1. Press enter. Okay, so now that window is 1 meter up from this corner here. Okay, let's save our work. Now I would like you to go do the same thing, but just for the interior windows. Okay, so you have the dimensions of the interior window on your lab document. So pause the video, create the interior window, make it into a block, and then once you've done that, then I want you to go place the interior windows. There's one here, and that's all I have there. Okay, so create this as a block and make that and place that interior window. Okay, I'll do it here. So let's do the same thing. Make sure to save your work. I'm still in the Windows layer. Let's make a window. I'm going to define the dimensions of it to be 0.2 because that's the width of the interior wall, and then a height of 1, and there it is. Okay, well, now let's explode this. Same process. Now let's offset. Same distance, 0.5. Press enter. That's the offset distance, and now offset this line and this line, and now let's go draw a line right across there. Press escape. Okay, now let's turn this into a block. I want to create a block here. Let's call that interior window. Select the object, press enter. Now define the pick point. Now say that point. Now click OK. And as you can see, this is all one block now. Okay, so now where do I want to place that? I want to place that about here. So now let's move this. Press enter. Let's move it, I don't know, let's say 1.5 meters up from that. Okay, there's an interior window. Now we want to do the same thing but for doors. So if you look here, you have some interior single doors and then one exterior double door. So again, I want to create these as blocks and then just go place the block in at different locations. Okay, so students, you know all the tools that you need to know right now in order to create those blocks. In your lab document, you have the dimensions of this interior door and the exterior door. So I want you to try to create these interior doors and the exterior doors on your own, turn them into blocks, and then go through and place them at the location shown. Okay, so press pause on the video and try to do that now. All right, I'll show you how to do it. Now make sure, again, we're drawing doors, so you need to change to the door layer. Okay, change to the door layer, and now I'll just go draw an interior single door up here. Okay, let's make a rectangle. Let's type in D. This is an interior door, so 0.2 and 0.1. Okay, so there's a rectangle there. Okay, I have that. Now let's go make another rectangle. Let's start it here. I want to define the dimension, enter. Let's make the length of the rectangle 1, that's the length of the door, and then 0.1 is good. There it is. All right. Now I want to create an arc that comes over here like this. Okay, that will show where the door will open. So there's lots of different ways to create an arc. If you click on this drop down point here, I want mine to be basically a quarter circle, right? So there's start, end, and center. We could do that. I'll probably say here will be the center, here will be the start, and there's where it will end over there. So you see this one? Center, start, end. Let's do that. There's the center, there's the start, and then here's the end, just like that. Okay? And now all I want to do is I want to move this little rectangle, or sorry, copy that rectangle to be over here. I could draw it again, or you could simply type in copy. Let's select that object, press enter. Now let's copy, let's take it from this point. Let's copy that to where it snaps onto that endpoint there. Press escape. And now you have your interior door. Okay. All right, if I come back and look here, and you say, oh, Joe, your door is horizontal and these are vertical. Okay, no problem. We can rotate it. Okay. You could have drawn it in the first in this orientation, but yeah, there's lots of ways to do things. Okay, so now let's just rotate. Type in rotate, enter. Let's select all of that. Press enter. Now let's get some base point. And let's just rotate that door. Okay. Well, now the next thing you say is, well, Joe, this door swings closed like this, whereas over here it's going this way. Okay. Well, again, yeah, I would have made my life easier if I drew this correct the first time, or you could now just simply mirror this, okay, using the mirror here. So let's type in, or click on that mirror. Now I want to mirror all of this, press enter. Let's say this, and now there's a vertical line, press enter. Now this question says, do you want to erase the source object? And in this case, I want to erase it. Click yes. Okay. And now you have the door just as it appears. You could have made your life easier and just draw it like that in the first place. All right. Now let's turn this into a block. So let's create block. Let's call this interior door. Let's select the object. Enter, and now let's create a pick point. I'll use this corner as my pick point. Hit OK. All right. And now you can see if I click on it, it's all joined together because it's a block. Blocks are all joined together. Now let's go place one. Let's go place this. So I'm going to move this. Let's move that block. Hit enter. I've selected that now. And now I'll use this point here. I want to place the door over here, and it needs to be 2 meters from this corner. So start there, move over, type 2, and there's an interior door. Okay. Now if I want to get another one, I can just scroll down here. There's an interior door, and you can go through and now place these doors. I'll place this a distance of 0.2 from there. Whoop. Undo that. Sorry about that. Okay, so that was interesting what happened. Let's place this again. Here's the interior door. I want to place it around here. If I start here, I want to do it 0.2 meters from that corner and press enter. Well, now that's too high. Well, now I want to move this down. Look, it actually would have been better if I defined my pick point as that point rather than this point, because then I could offset it from here. Okay, well, that's okay. So now I can just type in move. Let's select the object, press enter. And now I just want to take this and just move it straight down to where it snaps perpendicular. Okay, and there's that. Okay, let's go do the same thing. So let's continue to place doors. Here again, you could just place a door somewhere like this. And now type in move, press enter. There's the object I want to move. Okay, I've selected it. And now I'm going to move based on this point here now. Now watch this. Now if I put my cursor here and move to the right, I can type in 0.2 and it will place it 0.2 meters, the same thing as 20 centimeters from there. Okay. Let's place the door that we see right here. Okay. So I'll go place the door here. Let's get a block. I'm just going to put it here for now. Well, I want to rotate this. Okay. Let's rotate. Select the object. Okay, well, now here's it rotated, but if you actually look carefully, is that right? Yeah, this is okay. So now that I rotated it, now I want to move this. Here, let's select the object, press enter. Let's go get this point, and that point, now I can offset it from this end 0.2. Okay, press enter. And there's that door. So now we have all the interior doors, and you want to go do the same thing to make your exterior door. Okay, again, you have the dimensions of the exterior door in the lab document, so try to make it yourself as a block, and if you're having trouble, you can follow me here. Okay, alright, so let's create another block. Okay, I'll just draw it over here. Let's make this dimension 0.2 and then 0.3. Okay. And now let's go make another rectangle. Click D and we'll make it 0.2 and 1. Okay. There's that. And now I want an arc. Which arc was this? I used center, start, ends, no problem. There's center, start. Oh, okay, this is funny. Look here. I'm wanting to rotate to the right, but it is only wanting to go to the left. Remember, the command line is really important. Read the command line. Okay, it says right here, hold control to switch the direction. Okay. So I want to switch the direction, so hold control. I'm holding the control key, and now I can click there. Okay, so the command line is very important. Now let's take this and let's just mirror it over here. So let's type in mirror, okay? Or you could do this command, that's the mirror command. Let's select all of this, press enter. I want to mirror it around this point. There, right, that line like that. Okay. Now it says, do I want to erase the source object? No, I don't. This is the source object. I want to keep it. So no, don't erase it. And now there's your double doors there. Okay. So let's turn that into a block. Now click here and let's call this exterior door. There's the object. Let's do the pick point as that top point. Click OK. Now you can see if I click on it, it's all selected as an object, and that's the pick point. So now let's just go move it. Click on it. You can just click on the point rather than typing the move command. Okay. And now from here, I want to move over a distance of 3.7. There it is. Press escape. Okay. And now the last thing that I need to do is I need to go trim all these parts of the walls. So for example, there's no wall here in between the door, or you couldn't walk through the door. So now let's just use trim. Type in trim, enter. Press enter again, okay, and now I can go through and select that, this, there, there, and there. Okay, so now that allows me to actually walk through the doors that I've created. All right, get out of that. So now in this video, you've learned how to create blocks. We've also got practice with mirroring, rotating, just drawing some more. This is where you should be at the end of part 2, and now we'll move on to part 3.